Alright, so this video and the other video I'm uploading today, there's going to be some weird timeline stuff going on here. I'll explain it at the end of this video, but last night I had a very weird dream. I haven't done one of these dream diary videos in a long time, not because I haven't been dreaming, but it's like, you know, when I was making them, I wasn't working. So I would have a weird dream, and then I would be able to get up, immediately come out here, and very sleepily retell what it was that happened in the dream. And then there you go. But now that I'm working again, it's like I have a weird dream, and I think, oh, I gotta tell that one. And then by the time I'm done getting, you know, going to work, doing work, coming home, I've totally forgotten it. So, you know, it's one of those type of things where they're not so impactful that I remember them for hours and hours and hours later. Usually, they're pretty well gone by the time I even get to work, really. But this one has kind of stuck with me. It was a very lucid dream, I guess you'd say. I wasn't really lucid dreaming, but I was very much aware of what was going on. But the way it started was, me and Donald Trump were going out to play baseball. Professional baseball. In a professional stadium, in baseball uniforms and everything, right? I'm batting, Donald Trump is pitching. I get in the batter's box, which was very small. At one point, I looked down and I saw that the batter's box was very, very small. It was just big enough for me to get both of my feet into, really, with a very small space between them. So I couldn't get a really good stance. And Donald Trump was pitching at me from like 3 feet away. Like, he was close enough that if I took a good cut, I was going to hit him with the fucking bat. And then if I actually hit the ball, I was going to line drive that motherfucker straight into his chest. Like, there really, I didn't have many options here. And it was weird because, you know, as he's pitching at me, you know, I'm obviously not really swinging all that much. I'm kind of more or less trying to bunt fully, whatever that would even mean. But, you know, I'm trying to hit the ball, and he's like kind of teasing me about how I'm not hitting the ball. And I'm looking at him like, well, Mr. President, you're pitching at me from like 3 feet in front of me. You know, and it was very weird. I got struck out, but I wound up getting like 10 pitches. It was a very odd dream. But the thing that I thought was funny about it is that, like, usually I don't attribute any sort of meaning to my dreams. I just, you know, they're usually so fucking far out there that I'm like, there can't possibly be any deeper meaning behind that. But this one was so weird, but it had so much, like, metaphor to it that there's got to be something to that. You know what I mean? Like, Donald Trump and I are playing baseball. I'm playing by the rules. He's not playing by the rules, yet I'm still being held to the standards of what happens when you fail within the rules, whereas, you know, he's crowding the fucking plate. Like, I can't even really play the game. And I thought that was very odd. You know, that it was one of those things where I'm like, well, that has to have some sort of meaning to it. But what it is, I don't know. But what I think is interesting about it is that pretty much everybody on the left side of the argument, people that don't like Donald Trump, they're going to say, well, it's obviously, you know, Donald Trump doesn't play by the rules because he's, you know, always cheating and blah, blah, blah. And the right side of it, the people that support Donald Trump would say, well, you know, he's playing, you know, the game still, and you're playing by the rules, but just because he's not playing by the rules doesn't mean that you can't line drive that motherfucker directly into his chest, you know? He's the one not playing by the rules. So if you're being held by the rules, play within the fucking rules. And if that means that he's going to wind up getting a bloody nose and knock the fuck out because you hit him with the baseball bat, well, he decided to not play by the fucking rules, you know? So I don't know. I thought it was very interesting. I figured I'd throw it out there for you guys. It was very weird to go through. Like, just me standing there looking, like, literally he's 3 feet in front of me. And he's pitching the ball. Like sometimes he's pitching it like this. It was very fucking weird. And I'm like, I can't swing. You know, I don't know. It was a very weird dream, but I figured at the very least somebody might think it's funny. I don't know. But, you know, the video that I made yesterday will probably explain a lot of, you know, why the dream was so odd and why I was so tired. It definitely explains that. But it teases the video that I'm supposed to be releasing today that now I don't have time to make because I went to my parents' house to do laundry like I do every Sunday. And like every Sunday, you know, for the most part we sit and we have conversations, you know, somewhat throughout the course of the 2 hours that I'm there. But whenever I'm like getting ready to leave, that's always when the conversation like kicks up that much more. So it's like, well, I'm leaving now. But I wound up sitting there and chatting with my dad and my mom for like an extra hour. So it's like 8 o'clock now, plus the time change, so that doesn't help either. So yeah, I don't have time to go through the process of doing the whole video and doing all the editing and everything, so now we're going with Plan B again. So this is now 3 days in a row I'm doing Plan Bs. Sorry about that. Tomorrow we will get back into normal broadcast standards or whatever you want to say. But today is just again real life, you know. It's a bitch.